All right, I'd like to welcome everybody out to tonight's product call. I'm Gentry. I am in the sales department here with Q Sciences. It's a pleasure to be on the call with everybody. Tonight, we would like to welcome our special guest, Tony Stephan, the formulator of Empower Plus Q96. And before we go ahead and get started, just a couple announcements. For those of you who are wanting to get reminders on the calls, just the things that we have coming out, make sure to text Q to 60637. And also, for those of you who have been with us for a little while, we've started a little competition. The April Dash competition is now over. That ended yesterday. Numbers are in, and we're calculating all of those. And the big announcement we have is Rocky Mountain Summit is right around the corner. We have just about 2 weeks, May 16th and 17th, here in Salt Lake City at the Radisson Hotel. We'll be having our first Rocky Mountain Summit. So go ahead if you haven't got your tickets, or if you're still talking to your team, make sure they go ahead and place those orders, and make sure they register those tickets with our front desk. And that number is 385-374-6300. Make sure they call those in and get those registered. So tonight it's my pleasure to be able to have Tony on the phone with us and kind of talk about Q96 and the benefits of Q96 and how it helps with stress in our daily lives. And Tony, if you don't mind, I'd just like to start out tonight's call a little bit with a question. And what makes Q96 so different and effective?
Well, hey, by the way, thanks for having me on tonight, and I'm glad that I'm here with everybody, and hope everybody's doing well. You know, there's a substantial difference with the way that it's formulated and produced. Certainly, the balance of all of the nutrients is absolutely essential. But way beyond that is the fact, Gentry, that this product actually goes through a 96-hour process in order to make it bioavailable. I mean, you go out in your backyard and you pick a peach or an apple or a tomato off the vine, and you know that you're going to get almost 100% of the nutrition that's found in those fruits or vegetables from the garden because of the way that Mother Nature has formulated them. And we learned some time ago that in order to have proper uptake, in order for the body to be able to utilize minerals, they can't be in an elemental form, in the rock or the metal form, like zinc or iron or anything like that. It has to be like transmuted or changed into an organic format. And that's exactly what we've done. But it's a very costly and a very long process. Most vitamins and minerals, Gentry, that are produced, whether they're tabletized or encapsulated, are usually completed within about a 3-hour period from the time that they leave the V-notch blender and they're into the bottle with the label and the fluff and the desiccant in. This product is 96 hours in the making. It goes through like a digestive process so that it's put together in the same format as the fruit is that comes out of your backyard or your garden. That's what makes it work. It has to be in that format or you're wasting your money and your time in taking these nutrients. For example, if you go look at the store shelves, you're going to find a lot of iron supplements in the form of iron oxide. It's rust. And you may as well take your little jackknife or penknife and you can scrape the muffler on your car and get just as much out of it. It's not effective. So I know that's a long way around answering your question, but that's what makes it work, is the bioavailability factors that are built into the product. There you go.
No, that's awesome, and we like those answers, and to be able to understand that process that it takes place for us to be able to have this product, because it helps us in so many different ways. Now I know everybody in some way or form, we all deal with stress, whether it's work, home, family, friends. But we all deal with stress. So in the 18 years that this product has been around, and what kind of impact has Q96 had on those dealing with stress? that you've seen or that you've dealt with?
Well, stress and anxiety disorders, and I'm talking here the diagnosed, and we'll extend that to the undiagnosed as well. But just with the diagnostics, they estimate that it's the largest dysfunction or mental disorder. I don't like to use the word mental disorders or mental illnesses because they're not. They're nutritional deficiency disorders. And that's what the 25 studies have shown. But you're looking at, according to the Center for Disease Control, part of the U.S. government, located in Atlanta, Georgia, they're estimating that 18% of the population, 18 and over, have major stress and anxiety diagnosable. That's over 40 million Americans. And in Canada, it's the same thing. It's just that we're 10% of the population, so it's probably 4 million up here. That's shocking. That's the diagnosable. What about the little children that go to school every day in a stressed out format? It's terrifying for people, and it's huge, and it's literally consuming our population. They're now saying that 38% of people are awakened nightly with a stress condition. My job, it's not looking that good. Or, I don't know if I have enough money to make the mortgage this month. Or, my daughter got sick and I had to take her to the hospital and it's costing a lot of money. And people are waking with these stressful situations. And so they're reporting that 38% are poor sleepers, and just a huge number of people in America and Canada, throughout the civilized world, that are blaming stress and worry. And in many conditions, Gentry, many situations, these issues are created because of poor neurochemistry. High cortisol levels, an imbalance in the adrenal gland production, too much adrenaline, can't sleep, you're on edge, all of the above, glandular issues and neurochemical conditions. And what we're finding is as we put people on the Empower Plus Q96, that in many cases, it's resolving these issues. And there's good research to support that as well.
No, that is awesome to hear, and to be able to know that. I mean, there's so many different studies that have taken place on Q96 and different aspects of what Q96 can do for each and every one of us. Now you mentioned kids, and with how young kids are, and I mean, as far as the Q96 with the stress level, I mean, because obviously at home when they see parents having stress, the kids, I mean, I've heard personally that the children can get stressed themselves because they see their parents. I mean, would you suggest, I mean, for children, I mean, the exact dosage, I mean, do you up that dosage as they, I mean, what's a safe dosage for a child that, I mean, has, that you can see has a lot of stress?
I'd say, well, depending upon their age, but any child upwards of 12, between the ages of 4 and 12, 2 scoops of the powder or 4 capsules per day is fine for children that are younger. And they actually do find children that are even younger than that are struggling with stressful conditions. It's just in the makeup because of chemistry. And so I'd recommend taking, upwards of 4 to 5 capsules today if they're over 4 years of age. And if they're under than that, then under 4, you can moderate that, 2 capsules a day, 1 capsule for a really small child. But there's a lot of calming influence. It's been kind of interesting. When you take those 25 studies and you basically boil them down, what's left in the pot at the bottom after you boil them down, and I'm saying this metaphorically speaking, is the 3 C's. Q96, that equation, Q96 equals 3 C's. Calm is a major one, coping, and clarity. And the calming part is the anxiolytic, the anti-anxiety portion of this. And that's what people report in the research, that there's a major calming effect. That while they may be experiencing a stressful situation, they're able to cope more readily with it and find calm. And in particular, Gentry, we have two studies that have been published by Dr. Julia Rockledge and her team at the University of Canterbury in New Zealand. And those two studies are on stress disorders. In the first study, it was only 4 weeks long, but there was a 41% reduction in the number of people reporting in the area of post-traumatic stress disorder, a 41% decline over a 4-week period. And these people had just gone through an earthquake of 7.2 magnitude, and their homes were destroyed and their businesses were wrecked. There were some deaths, but the major calamity was that they, in many cases, were living in their garages or in their backyards, in tents and this kind of thing. But they found in that group, after only taking Empower Plus Q96 for 4 weeks, that 41% no longer had PTSD. And then they followed them in the secondary part of the study for a full year out. And the numbers that arrived, that came in at the end of that 1 year follow-up, were that 91% in total no longer had a clinical value attached to their post-traumatic stress disorder. In other words, they were below clinical standards. They had minor stress like we all feel every day. I mean, hey, I get a flat tire in my truck. Hey, I got to get under that truck and get that tire out, and I'm stressed, right? But it's you're able to cope better, and so the research supports that totally.
No, and for everybody that, I mean, whether you're new or you've been in the company for a little while, make sure that you're in the back office looking at those studies and being able to share those and use those, because we have those out there and available to share with your teams and to share with everybody, so that they know about this great product. And Tony, from everyone that you've met or you've crossed paths with in the last 18 years or so, I mean, would you say that Q96 is a product that everyone should be taking, or is it, I mean, what have you, the questions that you've kind of gotten from people, I mean, whether they're taking a medication or they're not, if they're just looking to feel better, I mean, would you suggest that this is a product that everybody takes?
Oh, absolutely, Gentry. I'll tell you what, it's really interesting. We get somehow in that frame that this is for medical conditions only. No. I recommend that everybody takes it. We have a saying, just take it and feel better. And you do. And, you know, we get so many people. It's really interesting. People are we're funny. We're a funny group. We get people who will purchase Q96, and they'll get on it and they'll say, wow, I think I'm feeling better. Yeah, I definitely am after a few weeks. And then what they'll do is they'll say, I don't need it anymore, and they'll drop off. They never had a major full-blown issue. They didn't have a diagnosis. They weren't taking medications, but they found that calming. They found that they slept better. And then all of a sudden they say, well, I guess I don't need it anymore, and they'll stop taking it. And inevitably, within a week to 2 weeks, the phone will ring, and people will say, whoa, where do I get this? I need some in a hurry. I didn't realize how well I was doing, and I'm going backwards. I'm waking up again at night now, and I'm feeling like I'm on edge. And it's a very subtle change for some people, but everybody needs it. It's just like every one of us need to eat good, nutritionally bound food every day. And we know that our bodies function better. How many of us go to we eat out, and oftentimes we walk away from the table and we say, that doesn't feel good. doesn't feel good. Or we'll go out and we'll have a meal and we'll say that's a feel-good meal because it had, you know, you don't see it, but you eat it and you have that effect. Well, Q96 is like that every day. You just do better.
Well, no, and I know for myself with being able to take Q96 when I first started, I didn't know what I was getting into, and as I met everybody and started talking with them and being able to take that, and just for myself knowing that I have something that helps me with that clarity, that coping, that calmness, the stress levels in my life definitely have gone down. I've seen that in my wife as well, and it's awesome to be able to see how quick it can work for people and what it does for people. I've talked to a lot of my friends that they've been taking finals, and they're just, you can tell that they're stressed out, and I just want to hand them a bottle and say, hey, take this and see what happens. And I've heard a few people who have been taking it that they just love it, and they're able to focus more and get that studying done. And Tony, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us tonight. What message would you share with those of us on the phone call tonight to be able to go out and share the product, and what message would you give to them and have them leave tonight being able to go out and share with somebody?
You know, there's a number of points. Number one, I think the sample program that Q has set up is essential. That's amazing because usually within 7 days, a person can see a very profound effect. Hey, I take this product every day myself. I know when I don't take it. I'm 61 now, but I feel so much younger, and it's given me so much more zest and energy and calm and all those good features. So I really advocate that. I think it's important that people get committed. And I always say to people, make the 90-day commitment. I mean, this isn't expensive. And what I like about the Q is they've got it priced right for people. You can get the family pack. That's a great program. You know, doctors are able to buy the product cheaper, and it's easy to get into people's hands. But I always say to people, make the 90-day commitment and watch what happens. Like I had about a month ago, a lady phoned me and she said, I can't believe I've done this for 6 months and I was very thin-haired. And you know, don't take that as an issue here, but some women today you'll find have very thin hair. It's not like male pattern baldness, but they start to lose hair. And she found that her hair has just filled in. It has a nice, healthy look. She says, I'm calm. I'm losing weight. I've got more energy for every day, and everything functions the way it should. And it's very simple to explain because what you're doing is you're feeding the whole body. And generally people say, well, this is just designed for the central nervous system, right? Wrong. Let me explain to you why. If you're out jogging and you put 5 or 6 miles on, you really go at it, you're going to come home and you're going to be very dehydrated. And when you drink a good dose of water, it's going to hydrate every cell from the top of your head to your toes, right? Well, it's the same with this supplement. When you take this supplement, you're nutrating, providing nutrition to every cell, whether it's your eyes, whether it's your brain cells, whether it's your organ cells, everything's getting proper nutrition. And so it starts to function better. Had a guy about 6 months ago, had been on medications for years. He says, my liver's compromised. I got really bad liver tests, you know, the enzyme levels. Got on to Q96, took a healthy dose, and brought to me a copy of a report from his doctor. His doctor's elated because his liver is so much more healthier, and the enzyme testing was good. And he said, I thought this would just work for my brain. Yes, I'm feeling better, but I can't believe how this has affected my liver. It's going to affect every part of your body. And so that's the wonderful thing about that. Up in Canada, we have a legal claim in Canada that this product is support for mental and physical well-being. And that's, we can put that on the bottle up here. We can tout that because that's a legal claim from Health Canada because we had to prove that. And it does amazing things for the whole body. So once again, take the 90-day challenge, get people onto the samples, watch them do better over that 90-day period because they'll tell you that their joints feel better. Every part of the body does better.
Awesome. You said quite a few things that I've written down myself, and I just love the "just take it and feel better" quote that you gave us. I mean, that's awesome to be able to go out and share that. Just take it and feel better, and getting committed. That's what it's all about. Making sure that you're staying on top of it, and because we all want to feel better, we all want to have that clarity, and we all want to be able to just feel better and have those nutrients, like you said, that we need. And Tony, thank you so much.
No, it's all good. We encourage as well for people. Don't play doctor with this. You don't have to diagnose people or do anything like that. Just give them the product and watch what happens. You'll see wonderful things. You gain a lot of new friends. People have hope. It's just a wonderful experience. This is just a wonderful gift for people. It does wonders. It really does. There isn't a product out there that has as much impact or as much research. I mean, it's got 25 studies. Probably if we were talking, doing this next year, a year from now, it's going to have 35. And there's some research taking place on the neurological side of life as well. And we're seeing some really good effects. So it's a wonderful gift. It really is. It's a gift of life in that sense because it renews your life.
Well, that is great, and again, thank you so much, Tony, for taking time out of your night to be on the product call, and thank your wife as well for letting her give you time to be with us and share this message. And just a reminder again, buddy, Rocky Mountain Summit is right around the corner, May 16th and 17th here in Salt Lake City at the Radisson Hotel. So make sure if you haven't got your tickets, you take advantage now and make it out to the great event that we have coming up. Just as Darren Hogue says, the purpose of life is to be happy. Our purpose is to make that possible. Thanks again, everybody, for taking your time out of your night to be on our product call and to hear Tony Stephan share his message. And we look forward to having this product call again next Thursday. So make sure you're on at 7 o'clock. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.